our portal if you want to see how you did. So far we've talked about what nutrition was. We talked about the dietary recommendations. We talked about your macronutrients, which are what? What are your macronutrients? 3 macros. Carbs, fat, protein. Carbs, fat, and protein. And your 3 micronutrients. Okay? Vitamins, minerals, and water. So we talked about that. We talked about fat. We talked about carbs. And now we're going to finish up the macronutrients and talk about protein. So I bet you can guess what the next 3 chapters are. Vitamins, minerals, water. Okay? All right, so talking about protein. Nutrients in all living cells and animals. What is protein? I'm sorry, it's nutrients in all living cells and animals and plants that have important roles. Carbs and lipids are used mostly to give you energy, but protein is to build and maintain your body. A lot of bodybuilders now think protein is giving them energy. Not really. It helps build the body. The reason why eating more protein is to build the body. Okay? Not for energy. All right, protein's in your hair, skin, muscles, blood, nails, and all your cells. All right, when you talk about protein, you're talking about amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein. Imagine amino acids are cinder blocks that build the house. You understand? So amino acids are the cinder blocks that build the protein. Got me? Okay. We have essential amino acids and we have non-essential. Essential are either can't be made in the body or can't be made in the quantities that the body needs. Non-essential are just made in the body. The body, we're good on that. So we have to find in food the non-essential. Go ahead. All right. Protein and food and quality and protein quality. Here you go. If you want 1 ounce of meat, poultry, or fish, that's equal to all those things. So all these things have protein in them. Now what you need to know is this. Animal proteins usually have more protein, fat, and saturated fat, and also cholesterol. Remember what Chef Richie said, cholesterol only comes from animal products. Okay? I love it when I see on peanut butter, cholesterol-free. It's kind of like, well, no shit, it's cholesterol-free. It's not an animal product. But people don't know that, so you have to put it on the label. People don't know that you can only get cholesterol from animals.
It still has some trans fat, though, because a lot of it's hydrogenated fat.
What?
Like peanut butter. Unless you're eating the natural peanut butter, typically the regular peanut butter has hydrogenated fats in it. That's where you have to be careful.
Even trans fat will raise your LDL, that's for sure. But I'm just talking about cholesterol itself is only coming from animals. All right, go ahead. So here's sources right here. There's a lot of protein in beans and nuts and seeds and that sort of thing. And you even get it from grains and fruits and vegetables, but your better sources are animal products. Except 2 plant products, which we'll talk about. All right, there's something called complete protein and incomplete protein. A complete protein is only found in animal products. In order for it to be complete, it must come from an animal. Which is not to say that you cannot get complete proteins from a plant. You can, but you have to eat 2 plants together. For example, you can have a steak, and that's complete protein. Or you can have beans with rice, and that's a complete protein. But if you have a steak and beans, you have an incomplete protein and a complete protein. Do you understand? You have to combine your plants to get a complete protein. But there are 2 plants, 2 particular plant foods that are naturally, they're like freaks of nature, that are naturally a complete protein. Meaning they would exchange a steak for this. And they are soybeans and quinoa. So I can have 3 ounces of steak, so I got 3 ounces of protein there. or I can have 3 ounces of quinoa, and I got 3 ounces of protein there. Both complete. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Or I can have 3 ounces of steak and 3 ounces of tofu, both complete. Which is really a freak of nature. When I first heard this, I was like, no way, that's impossible. You can only get complete protein from animals. These things, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, they're just freaks of nature. So you can get total complete protein from quinoa or soybean products. All right? The ability of 2 protein foods to make up for the lack of certain amino acids in each other when eaten over the course of the day. What they're saying is that if you eat only plants and you're not eating quinoa or soy products, throughout the course of the day, you've probably eaten other plant foods, therefore creating a complete protein. Understand? Go ahead. Go ahead. All right, what does protein do in the body? It acts as a structural component of the body. It builds and maintains the body. It's found in many enzymes and hormones. It's found in all your antibodies. Okay, it transports iron, mineral, fats, and oxygen around the body. It maintains your fluid acid-base balance. By the way, in Atkins diet, your acid base is way too high. That's part of ketosis. That's why your urine and your breath stink. Okay, your acid base is way high. It provides energy as a last resort. So if your body has no fat or carbs to eat for energy, it will start eating the protein. And it helps blood clots. How is this protein digested, absorbed, and metabolized? It starts in the stomach. The acid helps uncoil the protein enzymes and start separating the amino acids. So the bile in your stomach starts pulling the cinder blocks away from the protein piece by piece. Do you understand? Remember, the cinder blocks are the amino acids. The small intestine, the enzymes break down proteins into single amino acids, and some small proteins are absorbed. Amino acids then travel from the blood to the liver, or in the blood to the liver, and then a pool of them provides cells the amino acids they need. If one is not available to build a protein, the protein's not made. Meaning, if you don't have all your essential amino acids, then the protein cannot be made in the body. All right, the RDA of protein is way less than what we're currently eating. All right? 0.36 grams of protein per pound of your weight. When I did the math, I was supposed to eat something like 3 ounces of protein a day. It's like crazy, which I don't understand because the my plate says 20 to 30% of your diet, which means either my diet's way too big, or or I don't know what's going on, because this kind of conflicts with the RDA and the dietary allowance are way, or not dietary, the
Recommendation.
RDA and the, God, what's the My Plate? Is that the RDA? No. Guidelines. I'm sorry, the guidelines are way different. The amount of protein you need is proportionally higher during periods of growth, such as infancy, childhood, and pregnancy. This 5-ounce steak has 40 grams of protein, and I don't know what it's saying, and much of the protein. It should say much of the protein is saturated fat. Okay? It is best to eat your protein evenly across your meals because it helps make you feel fuller, helps the body maintain muscle tissue, and also gives you endurance and power for athletes, and they can benefit from more protein. If you're an athlete, a professional athlete, they ask you to almost double your protein intake because it helps build the muscle. Okay, go ahead. Eating an excessive amount of protein, which we all do. I mean, when you guys do Project 2, which we got to talk about later in the next week, beginning of next week, you'll find that the protein that you consume, we eat way over. Sometimes it's almost 50% of a lot of people's diet is protein. Yeah, which is crazy amount. But a lot of people make the mistake that eating all this protein will result in bigger muscles and give you stronger bones and pump up your immune system, and that's not the case. Also, another reason, we're still reeling from that whole Atkins thing. People are still thinking that carbs are bad and protein is good. Ever since that, and that's from the, the 90s. And we've got that in our head. Carbs are bad, protein's good. And so people are eating way too much protein. All right? Eating too much protein can result in too many calories taken in and weight gain. Unfortunately, if the too much protein we ate came from soy products and quinoa and beans and rice and all that, we'd be good. But it doesn't. A lot of it comes from meat products or animal protein, and therefore our cholesterol is through the roof. Okay? Diet high in processed meats, and this is the reason why they even put that on there is because of the Atkins diet, because a lot of people on the Atkins diet were waking up in the morning and eating like 2-3 eggs and half a pound of bacon.
Wow.
They were doing that, thinking, oh, okay, I can eat protein, I'll do bacon. Where the hell did that come from?
Tons of bacon.
You know?
Fin-Span, that was the diet that the diet doctors use, the Atkins diet. So you were having the Fin-Span combined with the Atkins diet, and so.
Wasn't that it was a pill? Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
didn't it create a lawsuit or something?
Yeah, a lot of people
Yeah.
end up with heart valve issues,
Yeah,
and some died, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, let it be known right now, processed meats, there is absolutely nothing good about them. Do y'all understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking bacon, sausage, ham, okay, salami, pepperoni, bologna,
Deli meat.
We hot dogs.
all your deli meat,
Turkey meat.
hot dogs,
Chicken meat, all that.
all the deli meat,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
And here I am thinking, because I'm getting new turkey.
all of it.
It's full of fillers, it's full of nitrates.
Sodium.
It's horrible.
pink slime.
It is horrible, horrible, horrible. And you know who it's worse for than anyone else? Is black people. Because it's loaded with salt and nitrates, and you guys are predisposed to hypertension.
So how did Jared lose all that weight?
Jared,
Yeah, God, so well, how you lose all that weight?
you can't with Subway. I'm with you on Subway. I do Subway too, and this is what I do. The only meat I choose is the chicken breast or the roast beef, and I'll tell you why. Because the turkey breast, no turkey breast looks like that. Which means it's got the fillers, the nitrates, and all that. Okay, the ham, we already know is bad. All the other meats are bad. The chicken breast, when it's not the kind that you buy from Boar's Head, that's off Slicer, because that's bad. It actually looks like a piece of chicken. That's fine, that doesn't have the fillers and the nitrates. And the roast beef, that's a top round. Okay, and so it doesn't have the nitrates either. It automatically came that way. It came out of the cow looking like that. That's the only two that I go for. All right, I think she was first and then her and then you. Go ahead.
That's what I was going to say about the chicken and the turkey. Now, I try not to buy the processed meat.
Right,
I buy
processed.
the chicken breast. the
Then
turkey
you're
breast,
fine.
And slice it up.
You buy your own chicken breast, so it's only this big.
Oh, you can.
All right, you can't put it on the slicer, no. If you've got
No, not
something,
on a slicer with a knife.
okay, but it's only about this big, right? If you got something that's about this big, that's proper. Turkey's that big,
How
yeah.
about the Applegate, which is the.
You're good, you're good.
So,
All right, good job.
You have to be careful with the chicken breast at Subway too.
Wasn't it you that said it was dehydrated?
Yeah. Because like if the truck smashes them, like your boss won't let you throw it away, you come soak it in water. And after it happens, it gets soaked in water.
Okay, that's fine, but I'm saying it's not, it doesn't have the nitrates. That's the thing. Wait here. Go ahead, Sudie, wait.
I was gonna say, my dad, he, works with Red Baron, so, he's on Chuck Sears and they changed and whatever, but we got like a whole bag of Subway chicken, and it's like frozen, and we like frosted it, and it's like rubbery. So I don't know, that was just my.
But my point is it's not, whereas if you go get Boar's Head chicken, okay, it's this big thing. You see what I'm saying? It's parts and pieces put together with nitrates and fillers and starches, whereas the Subway chicken, although whatever they do to it, at least it still comes from It's one breast off one chicken. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you go to Publix and they pull out a big round thing, it says it's turkey breast, that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in nature.
It's gotta look like it did in the animal.
Right.
That's what I was trying to get clarity about. I heard Applegate and Boar's Head, so actually Boar's Head is bad, and Applegate.
Applegate, they don't use any nitrates or fillers, yeah, it's organic.
Okay, that's,
Expensive is all hell, but.
The things you wanna look for is where it says processed and where it says nitrates.
I hate turkey a lot.
Okay, nitrates and processed are the two things. You want it to look like it looks in the animal.
Okay.
Since you mentioned organic, I just had the experience this weekend, but usually I was just buying regular bananas, but I got organic bananas, and the taste was so good. Well, that's, yeah, I just want to say that.
Bananas? All right. Anyway, so guys, and the sad thing is, the most popular thing about the African American diet is the processed meats, and it's killing your race. It really is. I hate to say it. It's killing your race. I'm sorry?
That's what we had available to us for so long.
I know. I know. And that's why you're predisposed to hypertension. That's exactly why. So it's sad. I know. I got it. It's almost like a conspiracy. It's messed up.
So there's really hot dogs out there.
I'm sorry?
No, seriously,
No. You know, someone asked me the other day, they said, what if I made my own hot dogs? I'm like, are you putting nitrates in there? Are you putting sodium in there? Yeah. Then no. If you're putting that pink salt, you remember that pink salt y'all use? If you're putting that in there, it's not good. Okay? And let's say you don't even have that, and you decide, okay, I don't have that, so I'm just going to put extra salt in there? Yeah. All right, go. Go. All right, so when talking about protein, eating certain animals and cuts and whatever, first off, when talking about beef, if your protein source is coming from beef, you should choose a lean cut. Now, I got to tell you, beef, I don't care what cut it is not good for you. Let that be known. Beef is not good for you. There's only one way beef can be good for you. Does anyone know what way it is?
Grass-fed.
Huh?
Grass-fed.
Grass-fed. I hate to say it, it's true.
Yeah.
All right, it's just not good for you. But if you absolutely positively have to have it, at least choose the least. And don't forget, this is like, don't think what I say, like for example, the butter and the margarine. Oh, okay, so butter, I should be eating butter and not margarine. No, you shouldn't be eating either one, quite honestly. But if you absolutely positively have to choose between one or the other, yes, go for the butter. Same thing here. If you absolutely positively have to have your beef, either get grass-fed and eat all you want, enjoy it, it's well worth it. Or, if you're getting your conventional grain-fed beef, here is your leanest cuts. Now, the leanest of them all is the eye round. Okay, and I'll show you what these cuts look like. Go ahead.
Can't what?
Here's the eye round.
Yeah.
That is the leanest of them all.
Can't overcook it.
Okay? And quite honestly, in my family, we rarely eat beef. When we eat beef, I buy the grass-fed ground beef for burgers. We have burgers on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we have this guy, grass-fed. And that's it. That's all we have.
What about prime rib?
Huh?
What about prime rib?
We don't eat it. Prime rib is way fatty. That's one of the fattest cuts. The ribeye, the prime rib, it's one of the fattest.
See, even with that, if you take that, you ground it up into hamburger meat, what would it be, like 95.5?
Huh?
But if you took that, you ground it up into like hamburger meat, ground beef, what would it be?
It'd be 95.5, if that.
You can ground round.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's almost no fat on that guy. Yes. Yes.
I have to say, I have since I think it was 18th of November, when you made the comment about soda, I haven't had one soda. And I've lost 3 pounds.
Excellent.
And that is the safe way to lose weight,
Yeah.
right there. That's it. Because if you said 10 pounds, I'd be worried.
But that's over a 2-week period of time.
That's good. That is excellent. That is safe, and that means that weight's going to stay off. If you said 10, I'd say, well, you're going to gain back 20, darling. I would have said that. All right, now, other proteins, lamb, your loin, your rib chop, your top round, veal, the cutlets, pork, your tenderloin, your loin chop, poultry. Let me just tell you this. When it comes to poultry, I don't care if it's chicken or turkey. When you're eating the skin, you might as well eat beef.
Yeah.
Okay? It's the same thing. All right? Ideally, you want to eat only the breast, no skin. If you absolutely positively have to eat the dark meat, fine, but take off the skin. Let it be known right now, guys. I am telling you best case scenario in everything. Does that mean that's the way I eat all the time? No. I love chicken wings. Just had them the other day. Okay? But it's my job to tell you best case scenario. It is not my job to preach. I am not preaching. I'm only telling you the best. Doesn't mean that's what I do.
Preach it.
Okay? All right. Here's a big problem that I see. A lot of people are opting out of beef and buying turkey meat. Ground turkey?
Yeah.
Stop. Okay? It is no better for you. Unless, when you buy ground turkey, it specifically says all white meat, no skin. If it doesn't say that, you're eating the skin, you're eating the dark meat, you might as well be eating beef. Because it's got to be ground, all white meat, no skin. And that costs more than beef, so you might as well just buy the damn beef. It actually ends up costing the same amount as the grass-fed beef, and the grass-fed beef is 10,000 times better. All right? All shellfish and fish are good, low in fat, relatively low in fat and calories. Go ahead. Go. Let's stop here because it's time to go. If you weren't in line up, please check in so we can get you on the roster. Johnson, I got you. Is there anyone else that came in late? I got you.
Yeah.
I just need this country and this office.